Former head of secret government UFO program Lue Elizondo reveals that his team figured out how to trap UFOs and said that they had set up a trap to collect information about these unidentified aerial objects, and he said that he can only talk about it now because he's had approval from the Pentagon. It has now been cleared by them, and he said that he and his team had a plan to set up a big nuclear footprint and added that this would be irresistible for these unidentified aerial objects, and then once they started seeing these mysterious objects, the trap would be strung. Elizondo has just released a memoir, and it contains numerous disclosures and assertions, such as a 2016 strategy devised by Elizondo and his colleagues to capture an unidentified flying object in the ocean, as well as his family's unsettling encounter with green orbs drifting throughout their residence. The former Defense Intelligence Agency official disclosed that former President Donald Trump received a briefing on the government's UFO program when he was president. In his book, he provided specific information about several captivating and previously undisclosed UFO incidents. These instances encompassed a sighting of a saucer-shaped object in 2013 at the classified Los Alamos missile test range, precise holes made by lasers on armored tanks in the Kuwaiti desert in 2003, a massive unidentified craft discovered beneath the waters of Puerto Rico in 1999, and the discovery of foreign biological implants in military personnel following their encounters with UFOs. The Pentagon evaluated the book before release and edited certain passages to prevent the unauthorized disclosure of secrets. Elizondo, a highly experienced defense intelligence officer, held a prominent position overseeing operations at Guantanamo Bay. Throughout his career, he operated discreetly and was not widely known. Through his work and public advocacy, Elizondo has brought renewed attention to the phenomena of unidentified aerial phenomena, challenging the public to reconsider the nature of these mysterious objects and their potential implications for humanity. In his recent book, Elizondo delves deeper into the mysteries of unidentified aerial phenomena, providing startling graphics and explanations that suggest these alien flying saucers operate within spooky space bubbles, a concept that adds a new layer of complexity to the already enigmatic nature of these objects. According to Elizondo, these space bubbles are not just a method of propulsion, but could also be harmful to human beings, raising concerns about the true intentions and safety of these encounters. One of the most intriguing aspects of Elizondo's book is the introduction of spooky space bubbles as a possible explanation for how mysterious objects maneuver through space and Earth's atmosphere with such ease. These space bubbles, as illustrated in the book's graphics, are theorized to be a kind of spatial distortion or bubble around the unidentified objects, allowing them to manipulate the fabric of space-time. This would enable them to perform the seemingly impossible feats of speed, acceleration, and direction changes that have been observed in countless encounters with these objects. The graphics in Elizondo's book depict these bubbles as dynamic fields of energy that envelop the unidentified objects, effectively insulating them from the physical laws that govern our understanding of motion and inertia. Within these bubbles, the craft could theoretically manipulate gravity, time, and space in ways that are beyond current human technological capabilities. This would explain how UAPs can hover motionless at one moment and then accelerate to incredible speeds the next, all without any visible means of propulsion or producing any observable sonic booms. The idea of space bubbles aligns with some of the more speculative theories in theoretical physics, particularly those involving warp drives and space-time manipulation. In essence, the space bubble could be creating a local distortion of space-time around the UFOs, allowing it to bypass the conventional limitations of travel as we understand them. Instead of moving through space in the traditional sense, the UAP might be pulling space towards it, contracting space in front and expanding it behind, thus achieving faster-than-light travel without violating the laws of physics as we know them. The graphics in Elizondo's book suggest that these space bubbles could be generated by advanced technologies that involve manipulating exotic materials or harnessing the zero-point energy field, a concept that posits the existence of a vast reservoir of energy that permeates all of space. The technology required to generate and control such bubbles would be far beyond anything currently known to human science, pointing to an advanced civilization with a deep understanding of the fundamental forces of the universe. In 2008, when distinguished rocket scientist James Lakatsky from the Defense Intelligence Agency summoned him for a meeting, he was informed about something significantly more peculiar. Lakatsky enlisted Elizondo to oversee the security of the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program, a multi-million-dollar endeavor by the Defense Intelligence Agency. This program aimed to investigate accounts of UFOs from military personnel and explore methods to reproduce its extraordinary technology. Following the depletion of financing in 2012, Elizondo and his colleagues persevered in their work by utilizing resources acquired from their prior positions at Defense Intelligence Agency and various military and defense agencies. Elizondo recounted peculiar occurrences he examined throughout his tenure in the government in his memoir. In 2013, he reported that scientists were conducting experiments with a confidential apparatus at the White Sands Missile Test Range in Los Alamos, New Mexico. During this time, observers noticed multiple unidentified and radiant spheres traversing above a neighboring ridge. The spheres approached the testing location, suspended themselves over the apparatus as if examining it for information, and swiftly departed, audaciously flying over the heads of perplexed experts, as described by the former official. Subsequently, multiple individuals observed a group of disc-shaped objects that appeared to possess accurate knowledge of the exact location of the tested item. This happened repeatedly over the course of a few days. He recounted another incident from 1999, wherein a Navy helicopter flew above the waters of Puerto Rico to recover a simulated cruise missile that they were conducting a test launch of. Elizondo described how a frogman was suspended from his hoist as a substantial circular entity, comparable in size to a small island, started ascending towards the surface. The pilot informed me that the sky was pitch black, and the water started to agitate and swirl like a concoction created by a witch. The crew became overwhelmed with fear and anxiety. Upon ascending, the pilot observed the missile being drawn beneath the water's surface. During his deployment with the US Army in Kuwait in 2003, Elizondo reported having an unexplainable encounter. A Bedouin goat herder at the isolated desert installation of Arifjan reported to the military police that he witnessed a vivid green flash over the tanks stationed there one night. Upon Elizondo's arrival for investigation, he was presented with an extensively fortified M1 battle tank, specifically engineered to endure a direct impact from a missile. The tank exhibited a tiny hole on its armored side, which was precisely circular and devoid of any irregularities. Elizondo said that the tank adjacent to it had identical signs of sabotage. The cause of this incident appeared to have penetrated the sidewalls of two of our most superior tanks, creating a single, precise hole that passed through both. It appeared as though someone had utilized an exceptionally sharp cookie cutter to extract a cylindrical sample from the car. The magnitude of energy needed to accomplish such a task would have been immense. The situation became increasingly strange thereafter. He provided a description of implants discovered in military personnel who had encountered a UFO. Elizondo stated that he had dealt with one of these implants, which was given to him by a hospital in the Department of Veterans Affairs. The implant had been taken out from a US military service member who had come across an unidentified anomalous phenomena, the government's word for UFOs. The material, which is little larger or broader than a segment of one of your fingers, appears to resemble a microchip that is covered by a slimy, partially transparent layer of tissue. When observed under a microscope, it exhibited residual movement. The program has also acquired images of these kinds of little items from foreign military pilots who were still alive. Elizondo stated that samples were dispatched to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Food and Drug Administration, the National Institutes of Health, and a US Army research station located at Fort Detrick in Maryland. Elizondo and his colleagues aimed to gain access to a purported long-standing program concealed by defense contractors collaborating with the Pentagon. This operation had supposedly retrieved crashed UFOs, including some that dated back to the well-known reported flying saucer incident in New Mexico in 1947. In an interview with DailyMail.com, Elizondo disclosed that his team successfully secured a meeting with the administrators of this enigmatic program. He stated that the individuals who possessed the material informed them. The individuals remained seated and expressed their contentment in engaging in this dialogue with you. If you desire more access to it, there are some tasks that you must undertake. However, we are pleased to provide you with this material. Numerous instances exist where this particular substance has been gathered and examined by highly qualified scientific professionals, specifically those who possess top-secret clearance from the US government. These specialists have confirmed that the object in question is not of human origin. However, he said that these gatekeepers obstructed his team with bureaucratic procedures and ultimately refused to disclose their financial records or hidden facilities to the determined Pentagon team. Elizondo stated that he is now unable to substantiate his assertions with additional evidence, as the remaining evidence is classified. His assertions mirror those of David Grush, a former member of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency who blew the whistle on the Pentagon. In a public hearing before Congress last year, Grush stated that the government is concealing a program dedicated to recovering crashed UFOs, which reportedly involves several spacecraft and even extraterrestrial remains. During his involvement with the program, Elizondo revealed that he and his family experienced a personal encounter with unidentified phenomena. In his book, the author mentioned that his wife was initially a strong skeptic, but her skepticism changed after she personally saw an orb in their house. They reported that one evening, a green, luminous sphere, approximately the size of a basketball, with indistinct, smooth edges, descended slowly from the kitchen and hovered near the ceiling as it made its way to our bedroom door. According to him, he, his family, and even neighbors saw these radiant green spheres on multiple occasions, but only during his involvement in the UFO program. There were a plethora of peculiar occurrences. In 2015, Elizondo and his colleague Jay Stratton devised a strategy to apprehend an unidentified flying object as part of their involvement in the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. According to his statement, their research indicated that these vehicles showed an obvious curiosity towards military activities, nuclear energy, and frequently appeared in proximity to bodies of water. In order to capture and document these enigmatic vessels, they collaborated with the Navy and other military divisions to establish Project Interloper and employed advanced technology. The concept involved assembling naval vessels in the ocean, directing their radar, sonar, and cameras towards the anticipated locations of the unidentified flying objects. There existed a sanctioned plan that received approval. Elizondo stated that it was briefed to the Joint Staff. Numerous agencies were involved in this. They were prepared to invest their resources and assets into it. However, it was rejected at the 11th hour. In 2017, he made the decision to resign as a form of protest and publicly disclosed the existence of the program to the New York Times. He also revealed that Navy fighter pilots were frequently coming across unidentified flying objects that have capabilities that greatly exceeded those of known human technology.